Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We are all George. In this stream, I want to talk about this new trend with exchange tokens. What's going on with it exactly? Why are they coming up? So I'm going to explain that. Also, of course, talk about Bitcoin because it continues to head higher. So where is it going to go? And what is driving this? Well, I'm going to discuss these two things in this stream and, of course, do some Q&A with you guys. But today is looking pretty good. Some other big caps like Cardano, Polkadot, and even something like Uniswap is going up. What's the deal with them? Well, let's have a good discussion. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. I do have a big announcement. That's pretty big. I'll get to that in a little bit. But thanks for tuning in. Those of you guys that are already in, let's do this. Let's get started. Let me change my screen here. So the big announcement is this. I actually hit 100,000 subscribers finally on this channel, CryptosRUs. Although YouTube still says 99.9K, I actually did surpass it. And this channel certainly has grown within the last 28 days. So I want to give a big thanks to all of you guys that have been following me over the years. And some of you guys that have joined in recently. I do very much appreciate it. So now I'm in a 6 digit, so I move faster in Bitcoin. So now Bitcoin has to catch up with me. But speaking of Bitcoin, it is still at $57,000. I mean, it just keeps climbing and climbing, and there seems to be no selling pressure at all. What happened to the days of F2 pool? You know, it's just like there's no selling pressure at this point. And after breaking $1 trillion market cap, Nero, appreciate that. I don't think it's just too hard to ignore at this point. It's too big. It's growing too fast. There are basically no reasons why Bitcoin will not hit 100,000 in the near future. Remember, back in December or January, I made the call, 100,000 by the end of April. I'm sticking to that. I think there's a very possible chance that is going to happen. You know, this next week that's coming, Bitcoin will probably be in the 60s. If there's a big company that joins in, probably 70s. And we're going to see 100,000 in the very, very near future. So that is definitely fantastic. James, appreciate that. And also, while Bitcoin is leading, everything else is going up. The market cap is $1.75 trillion. Remember, just a few days ago, I was talking about how we were right below 1.5 trillion, and just everything just keeps going up and up and up. You can see today is definitely a good day for a lot of coins. So what's going on? First of all, let me talk about Bitcoin. So what's going on with Bitcoin? This came out last week, all right? The very first Bitcoin ETF in history, and it's in Canada. Now, there's something I did not know, that even though this is a Canadian ETF, people in the US can actually buy it. There is a different symbol, BDCC.U, that actually you can buy in the US. I did not know. I thought this was limited to the US. To Canada, but no. But here's the thing. It's only been out for 2 freaking days, and there is almost $500 million worth of Bitcoin in this fund already. Within 2 freaking days. I don't know if you guys remember when Bitcoin futures came out. The very first day, first week, first month, there was like zero volume, nothing. No one was buying it at all, and it was basically a laughing stock. But then things ramped up. But right now, Bitcoin ETF is ramping up really, really fast. So next week, I have no doubt this is going to go into the billions, right? And this is going to keep continuing on. So Bitcoin ETF, and this is the first one. There was a second one that was introduced right after this too. So Bitcoin ETFs are going to carry Bitcoin very, very far in the future as well, because this just makes it very easy for anyone to get exposure to Bitcoin to immediately buy. It doesn't even have to be institutional investors. Average Joes, people that have stocks, they have brokerages. Now you can simply type in a symbol and buy it and get direct exposure to Bitcoin, because these funds must buy Bitcoin to be able to offer these ETF shares to you. And if you look at this, management fees 1%. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. But still, if you bought it yourself, you can avoid that 1%. Actually, you couldn't, because if you bought it yourself, you have to pay fees to buy it. So I don't know. This might be even a better deal, but you don't actually hold the Bitcoin, obviously. So this is a big deal. I'm going to keep tracking this as time goes on. I'm going to bookmark this because I think this is going to explode next year. And you're going to just see more and more money flow in. And this is very visible, right? You know, a lot of times institutions, they buy OTC market and you can't really track a lot of that stuff. But this is very visible that you could track, just like Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, how that keeps exploding. This keeps going. And this is going to definitely help Bitcoin in the future. Now, what else is there? Well, looking at Bitcoin Treasuries, guess who popped up on here finally? Well, first of all, MicroStrategy, they didn't update it because they haven't bought yet. Remember, MicroStrategy just got an additional $1 billion to buy Bitcoin. That's probably going to come up next week too. So that'll probably drive up Bitcoin over 60,000 just from that purchase alone. But look at the stud, Bitcoin Jesus, Michael Saylor. His initial purchase, everything averaged together, that $1.1 billion is now worth over $4 billion. He made a cool $3 billion within just a matter of months. This is how good it is. And here's even what's more even amazing, right? We just heard about Tesla buying Bitcoin. Now, it's a secret what they bought it at. We don't know what it is. Eventually it'll come out. But people are just estimating it's probably around $48,000. And seeing how Bitcoin is at $57,000, they already made $1 billion from that purchase. $1 billion within just a matter of a week or so, right? That's how good of a decision that is. And people have crunched the numbers. Tesla made more in a week with Bitcoin than their entire existence of the last 10 years or 8 years. That's how profitable it is for them. They have made more with Bitcoin in a single week than they did in their entire history. That's how awesome Bitcoin is. And there's actually a lot of others that I haven't seen before that just like, they just randomly pop up now. So I don't even know where they come from. But there's a lot. Like Bitfarms came up, Agro Blockchain came up. There's a lot. I mean, they're not buying tens of thousands, but we're talking about millions, tens of millions. So it all adds up, right? So this keeps going up and up. This is why people ask me, is there a correction coming? Is there some kind of top that's coming for Bitcoin? I just don't see it. I just don't see how these big guys, they're buying Bitcoin and they're like, okay, end of 2021, it's time to sell. No, they're buying it for different reasons. It's a hedge against inflation, of course, to make some money, but still, they're buying it as a hedge against inflation. And a lot of these guys, I'm talking about hedge funds, you know, family offices, and others, pension funds, they're buying it for the long haul. They hold stuff for decades upon decades, and they're selling off their gold, which they have been holding on for decades, and they're replacing that with Bitcoin. So, you know, what I'm thinking is there's no end to the cycle. It's just a super cycle. I do think that Bitcoin will continue to rise up. It'll be probably over 100,000 by April, probably 300, 400, 500,000 by the end of the year. So that's still 10x from here, right? And just hover there, because it's going to be the new gold. It's going to replace gold, and you don't see, you know, you're just not going to see that mass dumping that we have seen before, right? And with Bitcoin keeps getting higher and bigger, that's why I think altcoins are going to do the same. You know, a lot of people still think that altcoins could have a big correction, just like 2018. But as long as Bitcoin continues to do well, there's no reason to think altcoins will do bad and dump. They go hand in hand at this point. So that's how I see it. I think Bitcoin, man, it's going to have a very, 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 very good year. Very good year. And I said that a lot during 2020, but now we're actually seeing it, right? All right, so got to explain this. Peter Schiff must be very, very happy because someone actually replied to him because he wants to stay relevant. And Peter Salty Schiff can't believe what is going on with Bitcoin and looking at what's going on with gold, which is going down. So, you know, his endless shilling gold does nothing. Last 11 years, it has done nothing. Gold is the same place it was 11 years ago. So what is the point? I just don't see the point. But, he wants to take advantage of what Elon said. According to Elon, Bitcoin is almost as BS as fiat money. So Musk regards both Bitcoin and fiat as BS. I agree. I just think that Bitcoin, which is digital fiat, is even more BS than the paper fiat issued by central banks. Gold is not BS. Gold, it's real money and better than both. No, see, now he's just tacking it on. He knows that Bitcoin is not digital fiat, but he's been getting pounded hard by the Bitcoiners. And he's trying to he's just trying to make up stuff. He knows he's better than that. In debates, he even recognizes it. But, he's trying to jab, which is pointless. It's pointless. Bitcoin is over $1 trillion. Okay, and then Elon responds back to him an email saying that you have gold. It's not the same as having gold. You might as well have crypto. Money is just data that allows us to avoid the inconvenience of barter. That data, like all data, is subject to latency and error. The system will evolve to which then minimizes both. And then Elon adds, on top of that, that said, BTC and ETH does seem high. Well, who cares if it seems high? Tesla made more money in a single week than they made in an entire existence. So I'm pretty sure Tesla board members and Tesla shareholders probably like that decision. But anyways, what he's saying here, I didn't understand. I didn't understand it at first until I saw Schiff actually responded here, saying an email confirming gold ownership, either from a private vault or government, is but a secondary layer of trust. So what Elon is saying is just because you buy paper gold, you buy gold ETF or you buy gold, but you don't hold it. It's in a vault somewhere and you get an email saying, okay, congratulations, you now own gold. That's just paper. That's just a digital version of just an email, basically, right? That's what I think he's meaning. It's like you don't actually hold gold. It's not like you're getting the gold shipped to your house and you actually physically hold it. Most people just buy paper gold, which is not gold anyway. So you might as well buy crypto, right? Which is digital. So it's the same thing. And I totally agree with what Elon's saying. Money is just data that avoid the inconvenience of barter. That's why fiat was created. So you don't have to barter. So there's a medium exchange that people can use to trade things, right? And that's all money is. And you could do that with Bitcoin. You could do that with many things, right? So yeah. So Peter's probably feeling pretty proud of himself that Elon actually responded, because he's trying to get as much attention as he can right now. And everyone's just laughing at him because of his ignorance or his blissful naiveness. I don't know. But anyways, just thought I would mention that. Here's something you guys will enjoy. So this guy that writes for Motley Fool writes 10 reasons why I'll never buy Bitcoin. He continues to spread FUD, despite the fact that Motley Fool themselves announced that they're buying $5 million of Bitcoin. So I'm like, what is going on? They already admitted that all their articles is FUD, that basically they know Bitcoin is going to go much higher. They decided to buy Bitcoin, and yet they still allow guys like Sean to write FUD articles. And he's repeating the same thing he has before, but look at this one. Number 4, it's difficult to short sell, which leads to inefficient markets. No, it's not difficult to short sell. It's just that no one dares to short sell Bitcoin because that's a really easy and fast way to lose all your money. So I just find that to be funny that he's utilizing that as a reason why not to buy Bitcoin is difficult to short sell. No, it's not. It's just that it's stupid to do that. And other things he mentioned, barrier to entry is non-existent with altcoins, it has nothing to do with Bitcoin. Real world utility is minimal. And then even though he adds things like Tesla is buying it, but there's not a lot of shops that accept it. Well, that's not true. There is a lot of shops, and you could get crypto credit cards that allow you to spend anywhere. Scarcity is a myth. I mean, come on. He's just spreading a whole bunch of FUD. I'm surprised Motley Fool even allows him to write this article, even though they already admitted they bought Bitcoin. So I don't know what's going on with them. I honestly don't. Okay, here we go. Here's something else. I did want to mention about Uniswap, because people are noticing that Uniswap today has gone up a tremendous 50%. It is now nearing number 10. It has pumped up to almost 10 billion market cap. And I would say anything at 10 billion plus is a big cap. So it's right there. So I do want to address why it's going up. And this relates to something I've been talking about with Uniswap and others and other DeFi projects that's on Ethereum right now. And that is, there's a lot of people that is hoping that this comes true, that V3, when it comes out, will have layer 2 scaling built in. This is what I said even yesterday during my video about Binance Chain possibly flipping with Ethereum. Because Ethereum for the next year, year and a half, cannot do anything about their blockchain in terms of scaling, fees, congestion. Ethereum team is working on it, but they can't do anything for at least a year, year and a half. So it comes down to the dApps. It comes down to like the Uniswaps and Aaves of the world. They have to figure out if they can transit and introduce a layer 2 solution for themselves, or move to a layer 2 solution, or move blockchains altogether. So the rumor right now is that Uniswap V3 will have some kind of layer 2 built in, which will free up the high fees and congestion and so forth, right? So that is the reason why it is going up. That is unconfirmed at this point. A lot of people think that it will, but we don't know. We don't know, right? And we don't know when V3 will come out. Is it tomorrow? Is it a month from now? Is it 5 months from now? We don't know, right? But I did want to address that because there is a big pump with Uniswap. And also a lot of these other DeFi projects on Ethereum that stalled out a little bit, they started coming up a little bit because people are hopeful that they're all going to figure out some layer 2 solution, which they need to, because if they want to maintain their position, they have to adapt. Otherwise, you know, the pancake swaps of the world and Venuses of the world will just dominate and take over these two, right? So that is the reason why it's going up. All right, so that's Bitcoin, that's Uniswap. But now I want to talk about what, you know, the other thing, the main thing I said about this new trend shift, and that is exchange tokens. So, of course, I've been talking a lot about Binance Chain, what has been happening with them, right? With Coinbase having an IPO, now there's a dollar amount you can say that this exchange is worth this much, right? Now there's a correlation there. So people are looking at exchange tokens, and they start with Binance Coin, obviously because Binance is the biggest exchange out there. They have their own Binance Smart Chain. A lot of DeFi has moved to them, which is why BNB has gone up to the moon. And also because BNB is deflationary, very deflationary. So this number also starts going down as more and more users come in. That is something Ethereum is proposing with EIP or IP 1559, but it's very unlikely that's going to be approved because the miners hate it. If the miners don't want it, it's not going to get approved, but we'll see. But Binance Coin already has that. But then I started mentioning, you know, over the last few times, like over the last few sessions, like, hey, pay attention to exchange tokens, because besides Binance, there's other exchanges that started copying Binance. You know, a lot of exchanges came out and they didn't have a token, but then some started to copy. For example, if you go down the list, HOIBY started copying, right? They came out their own, and it's worth a lot already, $4.1 billion, and it's up 74% for the week. Not so much, didn't go up today, but 75% for a week, not too bad, right? The problem in HOIBY is it's not available for US customers. It was back in the day. They shut it down, and they were talking about bringing it back for US customers. I don't think that has happened. So the major exchange called HOIBY Global. So if you're outside the US, you can access HOIBY, and they're a good exchange. They have a lot of trading pairs. But for us in the US, can't really get access to that, right? So what are other alternatives? And this makes a whole lot of sense for people that in the US that can't get on Binance, or even get on Binance.us, because there are some states that are prohibited. So what can you do? Well, going down the list, one that I talked about not too long ago is Voyager. Voyager app, and they have gone up a staggering 20% today and about 64% this week. And if you go back just a month or so, Voyager is up 500%, and they're at 1.5 billion, but they could definitely go up more. Yesterday I was asked, can Voyager be a top 20 And I was saying no, it's unlikely, but who knows? Who knows? This is crypto world, so it could definitely go up. But I do like Voyager quite a bit. This is a good alternative for those of you guys that are trying to get away from Coinbase. You want a very useful app. Voyager is one of them. Unfortunately, though, they have so much demand, you'll probably be put on a waiting list. But they're letting a lot more people in now. But Voyager is a financial app. Basically allows you to do everything. You can buy, trade, hold. You can stake. Easy staking just by holding on, right? So they pretty much do everything. And they have a good amount of tokens on there too. They are also a publicly traded company, which is great. They have stocks in Canada and US that you could buy. And the team is made of veterans that's been in this space, finance and trading space for a long time, including the CEO who was the ex-CEO of E-Trade at one point in time. So I've covered Voyager before. They're a fantastic alternative to Coinbase. And their app, when you're in, is actually pretty good. It's pretty good. So they are definitely moving up because if you're trying to buy VGX, there's really no place to buy it other than the app itself. You can buy it on Binance, but again, if you're in the US, you can't get on Binance. So where do you buy it? You buy it on the app, right? So they have definitely been going up, and I do think they're probably going to continue because of what's going on with Binance and Coinbase, because evaluations, and especially something like HOIBY, you can't even get on as a U.S. citizen. So Voyager definitely looks like they're in a very, very good spot right now. They also, because they're a public trade company, they released some quarterly results recently, which is outstanding in terms of user growth, how much money they're making, and all that stuff. They're looking really, really, really good. Now, another one that not a whole lot of new people know, but people that's been in it for a while. Oh, here's another one that I didn't, I kind of glanced over, but this is OKX's own token. Again, they're outside the US. Swissborg is another one that's also a financial app like Voyager, but they're also outside the US, right? So US citizens don't have a lot of options. But the other one I want to talk about is Kucoin. Kucoin is an exchange that has been around almost as long as Binance. They came out right afterwards. So before all these new exchanges came out, it was Binance was number one, and then Kucoin was like number two. And this was before all these other ones like HOIBY and BitMEX and Bitfinex and all these other ones started kind of getting bigger. But Kucoin still exists. And this is what I say. If you can't get on Binance or Binance.us, and you're looking for an exchange that has a lot of various tokens that you don't see anywhere else, you want to go on Kucoin because they're still open to the US residents, and they have a lot going for them too. They have stakings and futures and options, all this stuff, leverage for those people that want to utilize it. But overall, they're a pretty good system, and they are definitely going up to the moon too. So you can see that they're up a staggering 40% today. Their market cap is still under 400 million, which means that they have a lot of room to grow. Back in 2018, they actually got up as high as $19. $19. So they're still way, way, way off from their highs. So Kucoin is another one that is going up. I would highly recommend anyone in the US that's looking for alternative to look at Kucoin because they've been around for a while. And you know what? Just like Binance, Kucoin, it's called KCS because it used to be called Kucoin Shares. And then they realized shares sounds bad, so they changed it to Kucoin token. But KCS also has quarterly burns. So they stole this from Binance and improved upon it. So they do have this burn where not only do they burn their tokens, but they actually reward the users for holding KCS. 50% of the fees collected goes back to KCS users, or holders, I should say. So this also makes KCS deflationary, right? So this number is going to decrease over time. So that's also very positive in terms of causing a token to go up, is having this deflationary mechanism. And they also have that, and people don't realize. And they keep adding on. They keep adding on. You know how PancakeSwap was so hot? And a lot of you guys are asking, how do I get on PancakeSwap? Because I can't get on US. Well, you had no option, right? I didn't know this. I just saw it that not too long ago, just yesterday, they added PancakeSwap on Kucoin too. So now, those of you guys that's been trying to get in, you can on Kucoin. See, Kucoin is on top of things. That's why I actually really like this exchange. That's why I've been recommending them quite a long time. So those are two I want to talk about. Voyager, which is a fantastic app, right? But unfortunately, they have congestion issues right now, but hopefully they solve that. But they're really, really good at what they do. And also Kucoin, which has been around for a very, very long time. Very long time. And you know what? Overall, I think they're a pretty good exchange too. So I think that is a new trend, right? And it's not just limited to them. So those of you guys that's not in the US, I know you guys, a lot of you guys are from Europe or Asia or something. You could definitely look at some of these other ones like HOIBY, OKX, and there's a few others that have their own native token that have, you know, they may have some token burning or deflationary aspect to them. So definitely take a look. But I do think this is a new trend. And this Coinbase IPO, I didn't even foresee it, but it's having a big effect on evaluations of crypto projects, specifically exchanges. All right, that's pretty much it. So let me turn to you guys for some Q&A. I think I missed some super chats. The last one, sorry, a lot of them disappeared, but the last one I see from Gujamin, Sunburn. Thoughts on Chainlink short term and next month? It's fine. It's fine. Let's just put it that way. I get asked a lot about Chainlink. Chainlink is Chainlink. They're a dominant Oracle. There's a lot of new Oracle play, but no one could really come close to Chainlink. So they're a good hold. They're in the top 10 for a good reason. They're a good hold. Just continue to hold them because they're going to do well. They might not be as high flying as the DeFi stuff, but they're definitely a good hold. And they're used for everything, not even DeFi. Even projects, protocols, you know, dApps, non-DeFi dApps, I should say, they all utilize Chainlink. So it's fine. Oracle is just the middleman to take data and send data. So if you want to grab data from another project, you use an Oracle to do so. What do you think about Team Rocket app and Meowthith? I have no idea what that is. No idea what that is. Michael Ruse asks or says, Litecoin is dropping to around the 50 in coin market cap. Yeah, some people have asked me, keep asking me, why is Litecoin not coming up? Why is Litecoin stagnant? Because it's the second best store of value. But why buy the second when you could buy the first, and that's Bitcoin? Everything I've been talking about, like Bitcoin ETF, companies getting involved with Bitcoin, right? All the hedge funds and all these guys, they're getting in Bitcoin. They're not getting in Litecoin. That's the reason why. Now, I am a little surprised that it hasn't done better because I would figure a lot of retail investors coming in would be looking for a cheaper alternative to Bitcoin, right? And they see Litecoin being a little bit cheaper. I thought that maybe that would be the reason, but it hasn't happened. I guess retail investors are smart. They want Bitcoin, they go buy Bitcoin. They're not going to try to buy a copy of Bitcoin. So yeah, that's why if you're thinking about Litecoin, just go with Bitcoin. Zidane asks, is ADA ready to moon? It has been. Have you not been paying attention? It has been. It's up 23% today, so that's not too bad. Obviously, Binance Coin is taking a breather today, down 7%, but I mean, it's up 100 something percent for the last 7 days, so it needs to take a breather. But you can see Ethereum, it was above 2,000 yesterday, came back down again. So Ethereum is kind of, this relates to what I said yesterday. You know, I'm scared of Ethereum because their network congestion, basically their throughput is maxed out. So I'm afraid. But let's see if, you know, guys like Uniswap and Aave and others can figure out a layer 2 solution. But in the meantime, Binance Chain is going up to the moon, and Polkadot and Cardano both going up to the moon. There's some celebrity that said that they just bought Polkadot, Gene Simmons or something. I don't know if it's Polkadot or Cardano, but a lot of celebrities now are getting involved with crypto, so they're definitely helping pump them at this point. Jojo, thank you for that. You don't need to give me a super chat when you're ready in Patreon, but I do appreciate it. The 304 crew, appreciate it. Generic asks, when will Roger Ver capitulate? I hope soon, because Bitcoin Cash, Bcash, is becoming so irrelevant now that, you know what, it's not even a cash grab for him anymore. He might as well just sell. Bitcoin Cash is just one big cash grab with Roger Ver and Jihuan Wu of Bitmain. Jihuan Wu invested billions into Bitcoin Cash, lost it all, and now he got kicked out of the company. And Roger Ver is still shilling it, but even then, you know, his own site, Bitcoin.com, is talking about Bitcoin Cash less and less and less because no one cares about Bitcoin Cash. It's a contentious fork. That's a money grab for Roger Ver, pretty much. That's it. He's already a Bitcoin billionaire, so I don't know why he needed more money in the first place. He's done a lot for the Bitcoin community. He needs to ditch this project and just come back to Bitcoin. That's what he needs to do. I mean, there's just no point to support that. It's just a mistake. He needs to come out and say it's a mistake. Is Venus a good coin? Alex Alacara asks, is Venus a good coin comparable to Aave? Yes. Venus is one I talked about before, and they are actually doing pretty well. They're up to 640 million, but they're equivalent of Aave and Maker for Binance Smart Chain. So they've been coming up a lot today. They're taking a breather, right? But if you look at equivalent projects on Binance Smart Chain, the two biggest one has to be Venus and PancakeSwap. And then also there's a lot of up and coming ones like Bakery Swap and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's a good one. Congratulations on 100K subs. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's been a long time. You know, my channel is stuck in 60,000, sub for a very, very, very long time. And I gotta admit, there were times my show wasn't very informative and wasn't very, I don't know, very, well, I would always say I was encouraging, but maybe it wasn't so fun to watch when things were in crypto winter. But now things have picked up. Appreciate it. AAX token. Is it this one or the other one? On the AX exchange? Yeah, no. Because it's on an exchange that no one uses. There's no point even asking about an exchange that no one uses. KMBA is trying to shill BTT. That's not, no. BTT is only up because Justin's probably trying to pump it. That's the extent of it. What's the other super chat there? Hey G, can you give me some insight on Crypto.com CRO? Crypto.com is also a financial app. They pretty much do everything. And I have heard people, no, that's not the one. And I have heard a lot of people, get on and use it. I haven't used it, but they pretty much do everything on their app too. You could get their crypto credit cards. They've been blasting away advertisements about that on YouTube a lot. But they seem like they're good. They're pretty good. Now, you can't buy CRO tokens though. See, they used to have Monaco tokens and Crypto.com tokens, but Crypto.com tokens are not available for U.S. Customers either, or clients, or U.S. residents, I should say. So they're good, but you can't invest in them unless you're outside the U.S. But I think they're also good. And what's happening with exchanges, it could be a good pickup. JS, accumulating my BTC long-term holdo account, buying 10K increments. Those are pretty big buys. I'm conflicted, continue to schedule, wait for a pullback that may never come. Why are you conflicted? That's the whole point of dollar cost averaging. So if you're waiting for top and bottoms, I know most people try to do that. If you truly believe, then just don't even worry about it. I mean, you're buying 10K at a time. That's a large amount. So maybe not the best way to do it, but if your goal be in Bitcoin, you dollar cost average. Every Monday, every Friday, every 2 weeks, every month, set the same amount so you don't have to worry about it. Don't even look at it. Just let it accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. And that's the best way to do it. Did I miss one? I missed one. Oh, Vahe says, thanks, George. Congrats on 100K. Join your Patreon. Good stuff. Appreciate that on both accounts. On both accounts. What do you think about Augur? Man, I haven't heard anyone ask me about Augur for a long time. I forgot even what Augur was. What is Augur? Oh, yeah, it's in the prediction markets. So people would make bets on what they think will happen, and somehow, you know, that it predicts like what the market's going to do. No, I don't believe in projects like that. It's like trying to use crowd wisdom on trades and predictions. I just think it's too early. Eric, I have no idea the situation in India. I have no idea. Claudio, did I check out Vimewell? No, I did not. I did not. Just ask me, and there's too many projects people are asking me to look at, so I have not looked at. But you're in Patreon. Just send me a DM in there, and then I'll take a look at it. Any ideas about Ren? I like Ren. I think Ren is good mainly because of their new bridge. They can help bring liquidity to both Ethereum and Binance Coin. So it's both, right? So that's best of both worlds, basically. A morning cup of Joe. Appreciate it. What is your thoughts on NBA Topshots? I think it's growing. NTF is growing like crazy. NFTs, I always say NTS. NFTs is growing like crazy, and NBA Topshots is leading the way. There's so many people that talk about it now. Even sports collectors like Gary Vee is talking about it. People, you know, just in crypto world is talking about it. They have scaling issues right now. Their servers always seem to be down and so forth, but they seem to be heading in the right direction. NFTs are growing huge, huge. But for me, I like physical cards better. I don't like digital versions of cards. That's just me. Maybe I'm old school. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Overall, Bitcoin is doing good. Overall, the entire market is doing good. So everything is doing good right now. But the new trend shift, I mentioned about exchanges, definitely pay attention, because I think a lot of these old school exchanges, the ones that have their own token, which could also be seen almost like shares in a company, I think they could have a massive, massive up in the near future. And we're starting to see so already, right? With Voyager, which I talked about, Kucoin, which is the old one I talked about, but there's many others out there that I think that you'll see the same thing happen going forward. Sherrard, how high could they go? They could go as high as the leaders, Uniswap and Aave. And I have no idea what about Index 25. I think it's probably like some kind of index play. I don't like index plays. You just might as well buy the good ones that you like. You know, why do you need to buy an index? USDC is just stablecoin. It's just like anything else. So is it better than cash in a bank? Well, it follows cash, so it doesn't matter. If the cash devalues itself, then so will USDC, because it's pegged to $1, right? So it's not really better than cash. It's just easier than cash to trade with. That's pretty much it. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, make sure you smash with a like, subscribe to the channel. Check out my Patreon page if you want to chat with others and myself, collaborate, get ideas, get some exclusive content, but also check out my Teachable page if you want a crash course on Bitcoin and you want to learn more. All right, take care. Bye-bye.